Hello peeps, it's Tripl-L, and today I'm here to talk to you about the 7 Deadly Sins, chapter 182, Unconditional Warmth. And man, so much happened in this chapter. I'm not going to do impressions, I'm just going to do top moments, because top moments, it's effectively that because I give it way more attention to all the little things going on. There's way more attention to detail. So I think this chapter deserves that kind of attention. I'm just calling it top moments because that's kind of when I end up making a lot of notes for a chapter, it's usually a top moment chapter. So for me, that's just helping me organize. Peeps, don't worry about it. It's still pretty much an impressions video. I'm just taking a lot more focus or paying more attention to details. Anyway, let's get into this. Let's just talk about one thing first off, because I don't know how much of an issue it is. Meliodas calling a child his woman. Okay, actually, this is just something funny. It's not that big of an issue because of the context of the situation. I think we can all be pretty confident in the idea that baby Elizabeth is actually Liz, like hyper reincarnated. Like the reincarnation process happened right there. Elizabeth came into being out of Liz, so they're effectively the same person, just reincarnated. I think we can all assume that. So, you know, I don't want to say it's cradle robbing, I don't want to say it's pedophilia or anything like that, because Meliodas even went out of his way to make sure that he did not pull any perverted antics with baby Elizabeth. So for that, I respect him. And overall, like, I see that there's some debate of whether or not Elizabeth is the same Liz, just turned into a baby and not like Liz's child. It's okay, come on, let's face it, like there's no way that is Liz's child. That is Liz reincarnated. I'm pretty sure, man. Like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like that's all I'm gonna leave it at. Meliodas is respectable. Meliodas is 3,000 years old. No matter how we look at it, Meliodas has a thing for young girls, and we don't know how old Liz is or Elizabeth is in terms of her soul age, because we have that clue from a couple chapters ago that Elizabeth was present during the first war, the initial war, and that she took out many people in that time. So we don't know how old Elizabeth truly is in terms of her soul age. So we don't know if Elizabeth will ever get back the memories of all her past lifetimes. But getting those memories back would be a nice way of confirming for everyone unanimously that Elizabeth and Liz are the same person. Overall, though, I do want to say it's very cute how Elizabeth still loved Meliodas even when she was a kid, because she was naturally attached to him and all that. Okay, but let's actually get into the chapter. Let's talk best moments, top moments, all the cool moments. So one thing I really enjoyed starting it off was the first panel with Meliodas crying over Elizabeth. It's like that first panel, he's just, you know, bloodied, and older Elizabeth is juxtaposed against that panel. I just thought that was nicely done. It's like really nice art. I really liked that whole first page too, because I liked how somber Zarathustra was on that first page, where he was talking about, you know, this is like the first thing we saw, and how much of he just seemed so somber. It really seemed like it made an impact on him, and I could really imagine that being said. So I really liked the artistry of that first page. The next moment I really enjoyed was finding out how Meliodas became a holy knight. It was effectively a deal for the king to take Elizabeth. So if the king wanted to adopt Elizabeth, Meliodas was coming with. That was just the fact of the matter. And seeing Zarathustra get defeated by Meliodas so quickly was pretty cool. We got a nice little tidbit as well of Meliodas' character, as he has the intent of a devil but eyes without evil. So that's a really interesting characteristic, because it does show that Meliodas can embrace his demon nature without the trappings of the demon nature. So that's very cool. It's a really nice character piece, and I really enjoyed it. Next moment I really enjoyed was Hawk's comment of Zarathustra wetting himself and him kind of agreeing. I just thought it was funny. You know what? If I was in his position, I would too. A child doing that to me, yeah, I'd be kind of, you know, floodgates would maybe pop open. I'd be kind of scared. And the next top moment I really enjoyed was finding out that Elizabeth was attached to Meliodas, and that little scene of baby Elizabeth kissing Meliodas on the cheek was adorable because of older Elizabeth having such a naive girl reaction to it. It was cute. It was adorable. Okay, so now we're heading into like somewhere that's pretty interesting. It's the whole 7 deadly sins sequence. So let's talk. First off, the biggest thing that I got out of this was Merlin handpicked the sins after looking at the prophecy. And let me just say, wow, her outfit. I really like that one. Like, Merlin's always had risque outfits, but that one's nice. I like it. Oh my god. So, there's a lot of things to be taken out of this moment. One moment is Meliodas knew Merlin before the king knew of Merlin. So that's really interesting. Meliodas and Merlin had a long established relationship. Another thing to notice in this particular scene is that Merlin doesn't seem to have the tattoo. The tattoo of the boar. It doesn't look to be on her neck. So that's pretty interesting. Then the next moment is, of course, that Meliodas and Merlin were aware of what the commandments were. Well, obviously Meliodas is, but it's bigger that Merlin knows. And the sins were initially prepared to defeat the commandments. So this speaks a lot for our current sins, because it does mean that they will grow into new power, because they're kind of destined to, they're designed to be more powerful enough to take on the commandments. And we've seen, at least with Escanor, that some of the sins can definitely do it. Escanor can probably do it. Merlin could probably do it if she had enough time to prepare. Bond can do it if he can like last long enough. Diane and King are the biggest question marks, but overall I think the sins, some of them are kind of hitting that area where they can take on the 10 commandments. So the next moment I really enjoy, this is more of an art piece, is the badass panel of all the sins. And that was really cool. And seeing Bond's face, just big, giant, it's cool. It's super cool, man. I'm really happy to see Bond there. And all the other sins are cool too, but Bond has so much importance in that scene. So does King. It was really cool. Now there's one point as well in this sequence that people are kind of talking about. It's the fact that Merlin confirms that the 5 other sins are all from different tribes. So the tribes that we have here possibly are human, demon. Well, I don't think demon. I don't think Gowther counts as a demon because he's a doll. Gowther's a doll. He's a creation, a homunc. Yeah, I don't think Gowther's a demon. But okay, we've got demon, human, fairy, giant, and the 5th one. So the issue people are having is Escanor a human? Or is Bond not considered a human anymore? And that's why Merlin's statement is true. Well, if you look at Merlin's statement, she says they're from different tribes. So Bond, people say Bond's not human anymore because he's immortal. Well, that doesn't change the fact that Bond is from a human tribe. So Bond's the human, which means Escanor cannot be human for that statement to still be true. Because they're saying from a tribe, so their origins, and then there's 5 from different tribes. So I'm gonna put my hat in the ring. I don't think Druid is a separate tribe. I think they are a class of people, a type of people who have like this particular method, particular traditions, particular practice. And I want to say that Escanor is most likely related to the Goddess clan. That's what I'm going to put out there. That's my ideas. Anyway, moving on. Now we're finding more things out about Meliodas, and we find out that Meliodas has a curse that's lasted for 3,000 years. He says it's taken 3,000 years for him to lift this curse, so who knows what the condition was for him to lift it, or if he has even lifted it yet. He might be on the cusp of lifting it, like it might be within this next century that he feels he might be able to lift that curse. So that's pretty interesting, and it's also interesting that he does reveal that he hasn't been able to die, and he's tried, but that curse will not let him die. So now you have to really wonder, how far does this curse affect? So Meliodas can't die, and we know that around Meliodas there are individuals who keep reincarnating. Hawk is one of them, very heavily speculated that it's Hawk, and we know that Elizabeth is most definitely 99% being reincarnated throughout the ages, and she seems to keep running into Meliodas. So overall, it's very interesting to find out what the actual curse is, what the exact mechanics of the curse are, who inflicted it on him, Meliodas. And, you know, overall, it's just, I'm very interested in this curse. Overall, the curse does mean that Meliodas isn't going to die, because that's kind of what the curse is there for, is stopping him from dying. Next moment I really enjoyed was cute Elizabeth, because she is the cutest. Meliodas' little speech to her when she was a child really was nice, and Elizabeth reaffirming that towards the end, and her crying over Meliodas. You know, it's a very touching moment. Overall, these kids, they love each other, you know. It doesn't matter how many times they have to die or reincarnate or how long Meliodas has to wait. At the end of the day, they love each other. And I just kind of want to see that come to fruition at some point. Anyway, the last moment I really enjoyed is, of course, Meliodas in purgatory and him saying not a chance or whatever, that he's not staying there. So overall, I really enjoyed this chapter. I think actually, you know, I really love this chapter. It had a lot of character moments between Zarathus's somber first page comment to Elizabeth just loving Meliodas and just being all over Meliodas, and cute Elizabeth just doing cute things, and of course finding out about the 7 deadly sins. It's all very, very cool. And I really love this chapter. So I'm going to leave it there. There's so much happening. I am really excited to see what Meliodas is going to do. I do also want to say, great. This flashback chapter was great because it just happened so quickly. We got all the good points that we needed to know. And I'm pretty happy about it. This was a very nicely done flashback chapter. So, peeps, that's pretty much it for me. Like I said, I love this chapter. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything in this chapter that really stood out to you. So, peeps, till next time, have a good day.